Oh my goodness. That is the type of ending to a game where you just want to like go on social media. You just like the kinds of gifs that would just describe that game would just be like you just go, man, because going down to the wire there. Oh my god, that was terrifying. Just the run that the Lakers went on in those final few minutes, and their Sixers blowing the lead. Yeah, that is definitely unforgivable. That should not happen whatsoever. But thank God for Tobias Harris. Thank God for Tobias Harris hitting those final second shots and just putting the Sixers up and then just closing the game out from there. But just like still letting the Lakers go on that run at the end of the game, it was just like, oh my, oh my. And so the Sixers they beat the Los Angeles Lakers 107 to 106, and it was a great game though. It was a really great game. But you know why I'm not really I'm really upset because you know what? My power went out. My power. I was watching the last thing I recall from watching the game because I couldn't watch it at all. I just couldn't. I was able to watch the first quarter, but I think the last thing I saw was I think it was Joel Embiid falling on his back on one of his layup attempts when he fell on his back, and it was kind of a scary situation because you know he came out he missed last game with the back tightness, and now he's playing this game, and then he falls on his back, and then he looks like he's a little bit in pain right there. So it's just like, oh my. Then like a couple minutes later, all I hear, everything here just goes dark. It just goes dark. TV shuts off, my laptop, the charger goes out, and the internet goes out because I was using the ESPN stream service. So I couldn't watch the game at all. Like, so basically, my power went out from I think a couple moments after that, Embiid when he fell on his back, to around like I would say halfway or three quarters of the way through the third quarter. So I was able to catch the last so many parts of the game. I wasn't able to see the middle part of it, which sucked. It really sucked. So I was basically just like scrolling through Twitter, just using my data to just to try and find like what was happening with the game, and also just going on a different like sports app that I have. I go on the score app trying to see the stats of the game, and it's just like, man, this is a fun game and I'm missing it. I'm missing basically the entire thing. And it sucked. It really sucked. But hey, I got to see the final quarter and a half, a quarter and a quarter of the basketball game. So hey, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. I got to see the Sixers collapse at those final minutes, and then I got to see Tobias Harris hitting that clutch shot at the end. So I guess all is good. I wish I was able to see the entire game. Thank you for the entire power in the neighborhood going out for that short period of time. It sucked. It really did. I was basically just sitting on my desk, on my phone. Couldn't do anything. But off of the whole power subject, so just this game in a total, just to go over it. Like I said, I saw the beginning of parts of it. The Sixers, they had some chemistry early. Joel Embiid was looking dominant. He was getting to the free throw line a lot. Ben Simmons looked dominant as well. He was playing really good. He had a triple double in this game, and it felt like Joel Embiid was just playing without a back after that play. It basically that's all it was. Like when I was scrolling through Twitter, basically saying, "How is Joel Embiid playing after falling on his back like that?" It was just like it was one of those games. He didn't put up like the 35 plus points that we're been used to seeing from the past couple of games, but it was still a good game nonetheless. I would feel like majority that this was not more of a Joel Embiid dominant type of game where he just takes the entire game away. This was more of a overall team effort, I would say. LeBron James, he was good in the first half. He got a little quiet in the second half. He did. But then the Lakers, like, they started to really wake up in those finals. They went on that gigantic run at the end of the game. The Sixers, they looked like they just couldn't hit anything. It looked like they were just trying to run the clock out, get to the end of the game. And it's just like, come on, hit your shots. Just please make this any less frustrating. Come on, guys. It just felt like it was like one of those types of things at the end of the game. And then you get the Lakers taking that part of the lead. But then thank God for Tobias Harris. I know I keep bringing this up, but like these are the things from the game that just really stand out to me. It does. And if you look at the stat line for now, Joel Embiid, 28 points, 8 out of 18 from the field goal, 1 out of 3 from 3-point, 11 out of 13 from free throw. He was getting to the line especially early in this game. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 turnovers. Tobias Harris had a really good game for himself as well. Shot the ball really well. 24 points, 10 out of 16 from field goal, 2 out of 4 from 3-point, 2 out of 4 from the field free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Ben Simmons had a nice night, triple-double, 17 points, 8 out of 15 from field goal, didn't take a 3-point attempt, which is honestly what's expected at this point. 1 out of 2 from free throw, 11 rebounds, 10 assists for the triple-double, and 1 turnover. Danny Green had a decent night, 14 points, 5 out of 11 from field goal, 4 out of 9 from three-pointer, no free throw shots taken, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers. Steph Curry, he was questionable for this game with ankle soreness, but he did play, and I guess because he had the ankle soreness, that kind of affected him in this game. He did play the 30-plus minutes, but he just couldn't hit anything. He only had 2 points total in this game. He was 1 out of 6 from field goal, 0 out of 3 from the 3-point line. Didn't get to the free throw line at all. 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover. It's surprising enough, too. He was like a +2 or a +3 on the stat line as well, without even him hitting any shots. So, he definitely struggled in this game. I would say maybe the ankle issue was probably one of the problems there. I think it definitely is one of the things you got to look at this game from Steph Curry. Yeah, he struggled to hit his shots, and that's definitely a standpoint as well. But some players on the bench that stood out today. Shake Milton, 9 points, 4 out of 8 from the field goal, 0 out of 2 from 3, 1 out of 1 from free throw, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 turnover. Furkan Korkmaz, for the minutes that he played, he had 8 points, 3 out of 5 field goal, 2 out of 3 from the 3-pointer, 0 free throw shots attempt, and 0 rebounds, 0 assists. As much as I dislike Furkan Korkmaz, he had himself a decent game. He did. He hit the shots when he was able to. And the Sixers as a team, and you also got some other players that played in this game as well. You had Dwight Howard, who played 7 minutes in this game, no points. Really didn't do much of a factor in this game. Tyrese Maxey played 6 points. He hasn't been playing as much in the past few games. He did struggle a little bit against the Boston Celtics, so maybe his minutes have been coming down a couple of games here. Even when you're facing this tough competition in the Lakers and the Boston Celtics, I can understand why Tyrese Maxey maybe won't get that many minutes in the game. Matisse Thybulle, he had 15 minutes on the night. He only had 1 point though from the free throw line. So, those are really the majority of the guys that stand out. I would say this is really just an all-around effort from the 4 guys. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Danny Green, and Tobias Harris. I would say all 4 of those guys had a nice game. Even though Danny Green, he took a lot of 3-point attempts. He hit 4 out of 9 of them. That's fine with me. Definitely fine with me. But I would say the player of this game majority is, in my opinion, Tobias Harris. Even though Joel Embiid was great, Ben Simmons was great with that triple-double, I think just Tobias Harris being more consistent, 10 out of 16 from the field goal. He was pretty much, I would say, the majority consistent one, even though he was a -3 on the stat sheet there. And just Sixers as a total shot from the field goal 48.2%, and they shot 36% from 3-pointers. And if you look at the stat line for the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James had 34 points, Anthony Davis had 23 points, Gasol had 8 points, not that best of a night for them. Schroeder had 16 points. And just overall, like I said, LeBron James had a really dominant first half, but then as the second half came through, I think he really didn't have that good of a second half. It was really in those late stages of the fourth quarter, that's when the Lakers really picked it up, and the Sixers blew that 14-point lead. And when the Lakers went on that just great run, and they took the 1-point lead with a couple seconds left into the game, and then you had Tobias Harris shooting that game-winning shot. And for the Lakers as a whole, they shot 47.7% from field goal range, 33.3% from 3-pointer. And honestly, it's weird when I look at the numbers when they shot from 3-pointer. They shot 8 out of 24, and just when I think about that, you just think of both of those numbers related to Kobe Bryant, and just this type of game, because basically it's the same point as it was last year, because last year the Sixers played the Lakers. I think basically yesterday would have been a year since that happened, or actually 2 nights ago would have been a year since that game happened. LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant, and then basically that just historic night in general, and then the following day, just everywhere was all sadness when Kobe passed away. And just thinking about it right now, I'm like, Jesus, it's already been a year. It's already been a year since Kobe passed, and I'm just like, I don't need any more sadness. I don't need to think about anything more sad in my life right now. But it's just like weird because they go 8 out of 24 from 3-point. I'm just like, oh my god, those are Kobe's numbers, and that's when the tears start to shed a little bit, and you need to think about, man, it's been a year already. It's been a long. That was a quick year. man, just time flies by, actually, when you think about it. It really does. But just overall, to summarize this game, I know, like, I can't go into the deep details of this game because my power went out, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. But I guess I got to see majority of the important points of this game. I saw a little bit of the beginning. I saw Joel Embiid start to dominate early on, but then I saw at the end of the game when the Lakers went on that run, and thank God for Tobias Harris hitting that last second shot. So I guess that's going to do it for this video. It was a very impressive win by the Sixers. And yeah, it's unacceptable that the Lakers were able to go on that run at the end of the game, and the Sixers just looked like they were trying to just run the clock out entirely, and they just couldn't hit anything. And sometimes ref ball came into the situation, some calls that maybe shouldn't have gone that way. I remember Tobias Harris getting an offensive foul that probably shouldn't have happened. It wasn't a good night for the refs, I would say that without a doubt. So, good game by the Sixers. Questionable ending, but they got the W. That's all that matters. You got the win, and you get it any way you can. Especially against a tough team in the Lakers, who just lost their first road game of the season. They were undefeated going into this. They lost their first, so the Sixers took something away from the Lakers there. So, it's going to do it for this video. Good game by the Sixers. So I want to hear your thoughts on and your opinions in the comment section. So what are your thoughts on this game? What are your thoughts on the Sixers' performance? Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. I want to hear your thoughts. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I am a part of. They're having their Sixers watch party. Definitely a fun time over there. So definitely go check those guys out. The links will be in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Fired Up Podcast merchandise website. That link will also be in the description below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.